Situated in the English county of Leicestershire, Donnington Hall dates back to the 1790s. Originally built for the 2nd Earl of Moira, this fine country house was requisitioned by the British government during the First and Second World Wars. More recently, the hall and its grounds have become home to one of the most famous names in motorcycle racing. Norton Motorcycles has an illustrious racing heritage. After decades in the wilderness, the company returned to the Isle of Man TT in 2012. Last year, Norton finished 7th in the Blue Ribbon event, the Senior TT, averaging 131 miles per hour over 6 laps of the fabled 37 3/4 mile circuit.
So on, I think the 10th of May.
Norton's CEO is Stuart Garner. He left school at 16 with no academic qualifications and initially found work as a gamekeeper.
Have a little look and just make sure that we get that.
Yeah, get that.
However, within 3 years, Garner had set up his own fireworks company and would go on to become a highly successful businessman.
And put the number 1 on and then look at how we would
my skill set pretty well turned out to be kind of paddling my own canoe, you know, starting and running businesses. And over the years, as you get a little bit more experienced and you get a little bit more maturity, you're able to kind of run with that kind of natural ability that you've got. And that ended up in 2008 with purchasing the Norton brand. But all of your kind of, you know, past history and experience gave me the ability and the confidence to buy Norton and go ahead with it.
Founded in 1898 by James Lansdowne Norton, the company initially described itself as a manufacturer of fittings and parts for the two-wheel trade, before producing its first complete road bike in 1902. Norton's racing tradition began 5 years later, when Rem Fowler was victorious at the first ever Isle of Man TT races. The company's competitive drive gained momentum between World Wars I and II. Norton won the Senior TT 10 times, and from 1930 to 1937 was victorious in 78 out of 92 Grand Prix. The marque's success continued in the 1940s and 50s. Leading riders of the day forged their reputations on Nortons, including Stanley Woods, Jeff Duke and Artie Bell, as Norton went on to accrue 94 victories at the TT. However, as Japanese machines came to the fore, the British motorcycle industry fell into decline, and by the 1970s, it was in crisis. A combination of poor management and the availability of cheaper, more advanced foreign bikes left Norton and other domestic marques floundering, leading to the closure of the Norton factory in 1975. Several attempts were made to resurrect the company before Garner took the reins in 2008. Norton now produces a range of hand-built road bikes, including models based on its TT Racer. The workforce has grown significantly and currently numbers over 100. An academy has also been established, which gives apprentices the opportunity to enter the motorcycle manufacturing industry and addresses the engineering skills gap that currently exists in the UK.
Norton is obviously a fabulous brand, but a very, very hard business and industry to trade and operate in. And there's a big decision almost daily of what does your heart want to do for Norton and motorbikes, because we all love the brand and we love the bikes here. But you can't be too kind of starry-eyed about it, because it's a very, very stiff business. You're up against Honda, Yamaha, Triumph, Ducati. All of the large global brands are our competitors. So we have some really tough, kind of hard working days to get through to keep Norton running.
Garner gave the brand a boost in 2009 when, riding a rotary-engined Norton, he set a speed record at Bonneville in the USA. Further positive publicity followed after he met a brand agent for the James Bond film Spectre at a party in London.
Then out of the blue we called to say, well, we just might have a small chance to get you in. Anyway, it progressed and we ended up on set in the Q garage scene with the bike in the background, with myself spannering machine guns onto the bike as they filmed Q and Bond speaking about some of the gadgets that were going to appear in the film. And to be on set and see the whole Bond machine and the Bond family was a fantastic experience.
With the road bike program firmly established, Garner turned his attention to racing.
With getting the Norton brand back and going back into production, it was very, very important to go racing. It's right through Norton's history and heritage that it was a racing brand.
Given Norton's TT history, the decision was made to focus on the Isle of Man races. After making its island debut in 2012, the new Norton has made steady progress over the past 5 years in this most demanding of racing environments. Norton's head of design and executive director is Simon Skinner.
That's the other thing we've got left side.
Yeah, wow, I mean, going to TT is a big challenge. You're up against not necessarily a race team. We're taking on Honda and Yamaha and BMW. That's what we're up against. Those bikes, the Honda Fireblade is one of the most successful TT bikes of recent years, but that's had tens and tens of millions of pounds worth of development, and that's what we're taking on. So the bike has to be reliable, robust. It's a race of attrition. There's lots of failures, and it's a dangerous place to be. So the bike needs to be very fast, high speed and stable over the bumps and jumps. It needs to be a very strong motorcycle.
In 2016, Norton became the fastest British bike ever to lap the TT circuit. This year, the team is poised to take another step forward.
It does look like we've got the right format and quite a strong team this year. The boys talk about moving on from 131s and getting into 132s. I think if we're able to do that and do that safely and consistently, there's no reason why we wouldn't push up from the 7th we achieved last year. But I can't stress too much how big a challenge it is. 6 laps of the TT is almost 240 miles. It's a huge, huge test of endurance on the rider and the motorcycle. So kind of we take safe, clean racing first and foremost. And if we can get a result, and that result comes around 131, 132 mile an hour lap times, you know, that will be fabulous for us.